Hi everyone. I'm very excited to introduce you to the Netskope SASE platform. Now, before we get started with today's presentation, I want to admit that I'm considered part of the problem. So I thought it would be fun to kick off today's presentation with a day in the life of Bob Gilbert. Oh, sorry guys, one more moment, please. I'll be right there, I promise. Oh guys, just one more minute. I'll be there in just a sec. All right guys, almost there. Give me just a sec. All right. And here we go. Okay, I just made it back to my home office. So there you have it. I am the quintessential work from anywhere user. And this is a good launching off point, I believe, for the topic of today's discussion. And we're going to start off with the big challenge. And it's really the shift that's taking place today where there's more users, apps, data, and devices outside of a corporate network than inside. Now, this is caused by two big phenomenons. First is the rapid adoption of cloud applications, where on average an enterprise uses more than 2,400 different cloud applications. When you combine that with the advent of the work from anywhere user, and in my case, I started out in Starbucks, I was at the beach, and ultimately back into my home office here in Northern California. This presents a big challenge and renders legacy security controls ineffective when it comes to protecting data, defending against threats, and providing the fast and secure access that employees demand as they access the resources that they're after. So if you think about it, it wasn't too long ago that we talked about the castle and moat analogy, right? Where we had a perimeter, pretty well-defined perimeter, and we deployed firewalls and other perimeter devices. But since the perimeter has gone away and we have all these blind spots, it's looking more like this. And for some organizations, you can go as far as this. I know this is tongue-in-cheek, but ultimately the point here is that we need to rethink both our security and networking architectures to better cover today's world. So let's peel back the onion a little bit and let's talk about the challenge that we need to solve. So it starts with users at the bottom here accessing the application resources that they need. And obviously in today's world, it's more challenging than ever. Users are everywhere and the resources that they need are everywhere. So the old way of deploying a VPN on the user's device and hairpinning their traffic back through a set of security appliances entombed in the data center is not a really good approach. It's ineffective, it's cumbersome, difficult, challenging. So if you think about it, what's happened now organically over the past several years, organizations have deployed point solutions and point products to try to solve these different problems. Put a VPN here to provide remote access to private app resources or network resources. Deploy a secure web gateway to protect organizations or protect employees as they're accessing web resources. Deploy a cloud access security broker to govern access to cloud applications. A variety of these different products. The problem is they're disconnected, there's multiple consoles, and they're also ineffective to the way people work today. So how do we rationalize all of this? So this is where the transformation of both security and networking need to really take place. Because ultimately we're talking about the same problem and the same challenge, and that is basically protecting the organization's data. There's protecting the data, but there's also providing ubiquitous access to the data for those employees. So when you think of transformation on the security side, there's a whole set of requirements and associated technology that is really armed at protecting organizations' data. Data protection and threat protection are obviously top of mind and key. There's also getting visibility and risk associated with all of this cloud adoption. And then on the access side, there's a whole set of network transformation that needs to take place. And ultimately, it's about ensuring that employees can access ubiquitously the resources they need. So performance is key, resilience is key, and user experience is key. So for Netskope, how do we approach and solve for this problem? So very simple. We start with a cloud-native architecture. Netskope was born in the cloud. So for those users at the bottom that need to access those public resources, such as cloud applications and websites, the foundation is what we call a next-gen secure web gateway. Now, this is a cloud access security broker, which enables you to govern access to cloud applications, combined with a cloud secure web gateway that allows you to protect employees as they access websites, and then bringing in a industry-leading cloud DLP that allows you to provide advanced data protection for a variety of different use cases. Now, key with this is these aren't separate products. They're not separate consoles. This is a cloud-native unified platform. So what happens now is you can dynamically move these services and have it follow the users and data everywhere they go. So what enables you to do that now is the Netskope Security Cloud Platform. Now, what if the user, in this case, also needs to access these internal app resources in the upper right? Here's where the magic of the architecture takes place. We don't have to ship in appliances. We don't have to bring in a separate product that's not connected and requires a different console to manage. What we simply do is leverage Netskope's unified cloud-native platform and fire up a new service. In this case, Netskope Private Access, which is our Zero Trust Network Access service. So now what that effectively does is it provides fast and secure access for employees that need to access private applications that are hosted in the data center or in the public cloud. This is the modern way to do remote access VPN. Now, what about other services? This is where SASE really comes into place. Secure Access Service Edge is not just about combining the forces of networking and security. It's about delivering a rich set of modern security services, 100% cloud native and unified. So in the similar way that we do for Next-Gen Secure Web Gateway, these other services, we deliver them and enable them to be moved dynamically wherever the user and data are. So what's also interesting about this is that when you think of the traditional way to deploy, manage, and operate security, especially different products, it's very complex and very challenging, not very efficient. With this unified approach, it's very elegant, very efficient, simple to operate, deploy, and manage. So one console, one policy engine, one set of deployment options, including a Netskope agent that can be applied to services like CASB, Secure Web Gateway, Zero Trust Network Access, and a variety of different services. So unification of the services is very core, but also how do you deliver these services as close to the user as possible? Now, this is where the network comes into play. And Netskope has invested in one of the world's largest, fastest, and most connected private security networks. We call it Netskope New Edge. And what this enables you to do is deliver all of these security services without introducing the traditional trade-off between performance and security. So with New Edge, on our globally distributed network, you're within 15 milliseconds of virtually most of the world's population. So anytime any place or any location your employees are, as they're accessing cloud applications, websites, internal applications, they're going to get fast and secure access thanks to our unification of security services running on our globally distributed, highly performant edge network. So when you think of SASE vendors in the market, and there's a lot of vendors that call themselves SASE, really, when it comes down to what separates Netskope from others, it's three things. First is our comprehensive data protection. Data protection is our DNA. It's in our DNA, and we're often chosen for our ability to see and protect data in places that other security vendors miss. Second is the superior user experience that Netskope enables. This is what makes us a modern cloud security platform. Because what this does is, first of all, we have a globally distributed security network that we call New Edge. It's highly optimized, highly performant, and that allows you to overcome the traditional trade-off between performance and security. This is what allows us to move that control point as close to the user as possible. So you don't have to turn off security because you're impacting performance. That's the first step. The second step is bringing in our risk-based context. This is a patented approach where Netskope enables you to create granular adaptive policies that enable you to stop the bad, but safely enable the good. Don't get in the user way. Allow them to access the resources they need. You just look for the risky activities and the sensitive data movement, and that's what you're stopping. And then finally, last but certainly not least, is Netskope was built for efficiency. Very important in today's world. You can deploy Netskope in minutes versus weeks. And when it comes to unification, we've unified all of these services cloud natively, and ongoing management is streamlined with one console, one policy engine, and one Netskope deployment option across all services. It's very elegant, and it's going to make your security team much more efficient. So the last slide I'm going to leave you with is the use cases. And if we had more time today, I would love to take you through the top use cases that represent how some of the world's largest organizations are extracting value from the Netskope Security Cloud in ways that other security vendors cannot. So with that, I want to thank you for your time today, and I hope you take a look at Netskope's Secure Access Service Edge or SASE platform to address your use cases and the needs that you're looking for. Thank you very much.